Welcome to LUTV News InFocus, where we feature interesting topics on campus, in the community, and within the world of culture. I am Tre Sanchez. Today's guest hardly needs an introduction. Emily Sterling was and always will be a part of LUTV. During her time at Lamar University, Emily capitalized on every opportunity available to become a successful media professional. Most importantly, Sterling serves as an inspiration to current students at the TV studio due to her everlasting impact on LUTV sports. Emily is here to talk about her time at LU, what she is currently doing, and aspirations for the future. Emily, thank you for coming in and talking to me today.
Thank you for having me.
No problem, my pleasure. I want to start by talking about current things in your career and maybe some things to come.
Currently, I am the color commentator for Lamar women's basketball. I have been doing that for about 4 years now, and I really, really enjoy it. Just being right there in the action. Everything is going on directly in front of your eyes, and you can really see and kind of embrace more of the sport that way. So really, really enjoy that. I did sideline reporting as well, and just different sports, anything I could get my hands on during my time here. And then what I would look for into the future is hopefully to continue my broadcasting career, whether it be in sports, but I'm also very big into music, and I could also do the entertainment side of broadcasting. But anything where I can really just be a part of the action and tell people stories.
Okay. So you said you've done this for 4 years now. What is it that continues to bring you back?
I think just being in that environment. I have always loved basketball. A lot of members of my family played basketball. I played basketball myself.
Okay.
So it's always been a really big part of my family. My brother is currently coaching basketball, so it's just been a massive part of my life. And so I think being able to be a part of that, as well as the stories I've gotten to tell over time, seeing different groups come through Lamar and getting to see them go on to be successful and to say like, oh, I was there when she was just a freshman, or when I got to see him hit his first collegiate home run.
Right.
Just like those different kinds of moments really brings you back to it.
For sure, I definitely agree. So would you say with you being a former basketball player, is that kind of what led into you wanting to do sports broadcasting?
I think so. I played a lot of sports as a child. I ran track, played volleyball, played basketball. Was always surrounded by sports. I felt like when people were watching cartoons on Saturday, I was getting up to watch like college football picks or whatever game was going on that day with my dad and the rest of my family. So it's always been something I've been a part of, and really my family members sharing their love for it with me, and that has just kind of continued on through my career. And then luckily my other sister, Julie, was also a broadcasting major and went through the same system of LUTV here at Lamar. So she also kind of helped me see what I really wanted to do.
Interesting. So we've talked about a few things that's going on currently, some things maybe to come in your career, what you aspire to have happen next. I want to dive a little bit into the past and talk about your time here at Lamar.
Okay.
So as I know, you were a part of the Core 4, which is definitely a household name here in a TV studio here at Lamar. Could you tell me a little bit about that and just what it was like to be a part of it?
Yes, of course. I mean, those are 3 of my favorite people. Those were my best friends when I was here. Arthur, Derek, Sarah. We always got together, talked about sports, and it wasn't so much just even on TV as a panel, but we would just come into class and immediately, whatever sports topic was going on that day, we would immediately get into it, show our sides. So it was always a very comfortable atmosphere. So when we got put on a panel together, that energy and that chemistry really continued. And we were able to showcase not only our friendship and our love for sports, but how enthusiastic we were about this career.
Okay. So as a broadcaster myself, I want to ask you, how important is it to give and take things from other broadcasters to your development?
I think it's extremely important. I think absorbing as much information as possible really molds you into the broadcaster you are. Even as a freshman, I came in not knowing literally anything about what it meant to be in front of the camera and be a broadcaster, but seeing people who were seniors at the time and now seeing how successful they are in their careers just really makes you want to be just like them or even like better than, and to find your own individual self as a broadcaster. and not even just LUTV, but even my friends and comrades and at Lamar Video over in the Montaigne Center have really just helped me to be like the broadcaster I am today. They really helped me build a foundation. That way I could grow and develop my own aspects that made me who I was.
So it's definitely important to build off of each other.
Yes, definitely.
I want to talk a little bit about women in sports media because it's not something that's inherently new, but it is becoming more common and accepted within the sports industry. Do you have, what's your take on that? Like, as someone who is currently in it and, wanting to do more?
I will say it's always rather hard to watch women not get the same energy that men get. And I've felt that personally. Even as a freshman, there were some guys in LUTV who would question my knowledge on sports because I was a female. Or didn't know this little niche information about the most obscure sport you could think of. Just they would question your capabilities in ways like that. And I remember one specific instance that really drives me as a broadcaster every day was I was on a panel with another female and two guys, and we were discussing our sports opinions. And me and one of the females were agreeing with the guy. But people were commenting on our video about how us two didn't know anything and that the guy knew all the information. And it was like, but we're saying the same thing.
Right.
So how do you draw that line of when people need to look past just because the gender is not, maybe we're talking about football, maybe because we haven't ourselves been there. Like, just because that is what's currently going on doesn't mean that's as much knowledge as we possess. I think some people don't see what women are actually capable of in sports.
I definitely agree. And that's something that I actually admire about what you guys did in the Core 4 here at Lamar. It was just seeing that, yeah, there's two men sitting there, but there's also two women. And that's two women that know exactly what they're talking about. You guys were extremely credible. And I was impressed, and I don't look at it as, you shouldn't know as much as the guys do. But it's still impressive just to see you hold your own weight because you don't get the chance to maybe grow up and play those sports that the guys maybe got to play, but you have that same passion to go about it and study the game and know the analytics and the players' names and things like that, transactions that's going on. So it's definitely admirable from the outside looking in.
I think what people don't realize is most of these women are having to work significantly harder than the men because they didn't have that experience. And in a lot of cases, that's where they possess all that knowledge from that men don't have because they automatically assume because I was here, I would know. But women have to go above and beyond. So we're always ready to show our credibility.
I definitely agree. And it gives me more of a respect just for y'all's craft because like you say, you have to put in more effort and more time. I want to talk about who is some of your influences. Like, who are some people that you like to watch, whether it be reporters or just sports broadcasters in general?
I think the person who really inspired me to become a sports broadcaster was Craig Sager, who did a lot of the games for the San Antonio Spurs. Sadly, he's no longer with us. But really just seeing his personality and seeing his true love for not just the team and the fans, but the sport and how much and admiration he had for the game and for the field itself just really inspired me to want to be somebody just like he was.
During your time as a student, you expressed on my LUTV experience that you began contributing to LUTV as a freshman. How important do you think it is to start early as opposed to starting as a junior or a senior to get that experience?
I think it's extremely important. If you have the capabilities to come in as early as possible, that's even more knowledge you can obtain in your 4 years. That way you're not trying to catch up as a junior and senior. You can kind of sit, gain some knowledge. It also allows you to take more time and really absorb everything that you're being shown here. If you want to take one semester to focus on camera, take the next semester to focus on graphics, and then kind of work your way until you've pretty much cleared everything in the studio. And then there's no corner left unturned that you haven't really soaked and absorbed the knowledge into. So I think it's, if you have the capabilities to come in super early, get that opportunity, because I was fortunate enough to know about the program because my sister went through LUTV. That when I became a freshman here, I already had a networking with Gordon that I could come in and say, hey, can I just observe what's going on here? And then I saw how much I really enjoyed it, and I jumped in as soon as possible.
I definitely tried to come in and do the same thing. Obviously, with COVID and things like that, I didn't have the chance, but I was inspired by people like you coming in as a freshman and being told your story. But that's all the time we have today, so thank you for coming and talking to me
Thank
today.
you for having me.
And thank you for joining us on LUTV News InFocus. To see more content from LUTV News, follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.